Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to Food for Thought, your podcast diving deep into the fascinating world of food and science. I'm your host, Wency, the Bubbly Diva, here alongside.
Me, Isabel Lammoglia, the very enthusiastic artist, together with
And the one and only Mira Angeles, who is a government complainer. And this week, buckle up because we're venturing down a bit of a rabbit hole. We're tackling GMOs, food security, and something truly unexpected. Can you guess? It has something to do with mice and it has something to do with milk, mouse milk.
What? What?
uh,
Mass milk. Oh my gosh.
mm-hmm, you heard that right. But before we go to that, we have to set the stage. The ethical and I guess you could say delicious implications of it.
Absolutely. Food security is a major global concern. So, with populations expanding, environmental pressures, traditional food production methods are being jeopardized. So, food security becomes a paramount global concern. And when addressing this challenge, scientists have created innovative solutions like the genetic modified organisms to enhance food production and sustainability. Smith 2024 defines GMO as a plant, animal, or microbe in which one or more changes have been made to the genome, typically using high-tech genetic engineering in attempt to alter the characteristic of an organism. It can be like the genes can be introduced or enhanced or even deleted within species, across species, or even across kingdoms. And it is used for a variety of purposes, such as making human insulin, producing fermented beverages, and developing pesticide resistance in croplands. So, as you mentioned earlier about mouse milk, it actually comes from genetically modified organisms like mice. And that's like an alternative source to addressing um, another alternative source of milk instead of relying on cows, which occupies a lot of land and resources. And that's why we're going to tackle mouse milk, right? So what is exactly is mouse milk?
Mouse milk, if I may say,
Yeah.
simply put, is milk produced by genetically modified mice. Through this technique, scientists have modified mice to produce milk with similar nutritional composition to cows or other dairy materials. This milk contains essential nutrients such as proteins, fats, vitamins, anything you would expect in normal milk, making it suitable for human consumption. However, from my research, the GMO mouse milk is more so created for women who cannot produce breast milk. So they are trying to let mouse milk to be the substitute for those who cannot produce them.
Wow.
So if
Mm.
you guys try this milk yourself, and would if you plan to have a kid, would you let this kid intake this mouse milk?
I mean, first of all, that's a possible future. If I do, in fact, become a mother, I would, because as a mother, I want the best for my child. And if I can produce the milk on my own, of course, I would
It,
find alternatives.
mhm. It's a very mind-blowing to think about like the possibilities like that
Mhm.
that being acting like a substitute for breast milk. And I would say it should be directed towards mothers. It's up to the mother's discretion. If
Mm-hmm.
True.
and also
We are
True.
guidance from the
pro-choice.
doctor. So wait,
Yeah, you have.
let's talk about the big question. How does mouse milk address food security challenges?
So, mouse milk offers a few advantages in addressing the food security. First, we have it requires less space because, of course, mouse are small, and less nutrients, less resources are needed compared to cows. And it's more efficient and sustainable and scalable. Again, because they're smaller, it takes less space to, in fact, have the grounds to create the mouse milk
Mhm.
going forward, particularly in urban or resource constrained areas. That's where it's most like good and versatile. So by diversifying the milk, we help like reduce reliance on our traditional dairy farming, and it opens more opportunities for people to contribute more milk into society and have more inclusive food systems.
Yeah, so thank you for that. It's truly clear that mouse milk holds immense potential in reshaping the future of food production. What do you guys think are the next steps in advancing this technology?
I feel like research and development is strongly needed to optimize the mouse milk production, and also
Mhm.
ensure its safety, especially for babies if they're gonna be fed in
Yeah.
like natural breast milk. And also, it's we have to ensure that the nutritional quality is maintained and of course, regulatory approval. I feel like collaborative efforts between scientists, policymakers, and stakeholders
Mhm.
will be really crucial for the social, ethical, and environmental implications of this technology. So, embracing innovative solutions like mouse milk is crucial in addressing food security challenges, as well as creating more sustainable and equitable food system for future generations. So let's take a sip of mouse milk, everyone. Joke lang.
Bottoms up. Okay. So, but of course, you have to take in consideration the ethical problems that come with mouse milk. Well, first of all, we have the welfare of the animal. It is essential to consider the housing conditions, its access to its nutrients, food, and water, and potentially the stress and harm inflicted on the rats. Because from what I researched, like it's not easy to produce milk because the rat has to be pregnant,
Oh,
if I'm not mistaken. It has to be pregnant, and it's only for a certain amount of time the milk can be extracted. Next is the health implications of consuming rat milk. Again, rats carry diseases and pathogens that may cause some risk to human health if the people in charge, the government, do not regulate it. And lastly, of course, is sustainability and cultural acceptance. Like, how sustainable is this to the environment? How many research do we need? It's important to take this into factor because, of course, if there is more demand, we need to supply more. And also, not everyone is going to suddenly accept rat milk into their daily lives. So it's crucial to
that's true.
consider how much you're gonna make and for who you're gonna target it to. As
That's
previously
true.
mentioned by Mia, it's mostly for mothers who cannot produce milk from
That
themselves for their baby.
that is talaga what the problem is that could arise, no, the ethical situation, because there are people who, let's say, are vegans, and what if many mothers who cannot produce milk are vegans? So that's a specific problem that these scientists need to address. And many people with beliefs do not will not trust, because will not trust the mice because they're related to being in the gutters. I know they're talking about the clean mice, the cleaner mice, and but how can we trust it,
Yeah,
especially when other scientists, it's not only limited to the cleaner technologies, there are other practices that can have some food security concerns to it. So that's something to talk about, right? And the cost, the availability, and warehouses of mice are going to be made, and who is going to ensure that none of them come out, and we might have an infestation of mice even more. So yeah, that's
yeah.
those are my thoughts. Mouse milk with its human-like qualities could potentially provide a safer alternative, but I don't know if we're culturally ready for that yet. It's still very early days and it's not yet commercial, but the research is promising.
That's true.
There
Of
are, of course,
course, there are. You continue.
there are a lot of hurdles in any research, and scaling up production of mouse milk is a challenge, and the ethical implication of using animals in this way need careful consideration.
Yes.
Absolutely. And it does highlight how scientists can go into the fight of food security.
So
So
GMOs.
GMOs again. So you go.
So GMOs, food security, and the intriguing possibility of mouse milk. It's a complex and fascinating area, and we'll definitely be keeping an eye on it.
Before we wrap it up, let's not forget to mention there are many other approaches to food security. Sustainable farming practices, reducing food waste, and investing in local agriculture are all crucial pieces of the puzzle. So, though mouse milk can be one of the many solutions, we have to be skeptical in every practice, and we should not fully trust everything that we see. We have to do our own research and think for ourselves first and foremost.
Couldn't agree
I
more.
agree with that.
What do you think, folks? Are GMOs the answer? And is mouse milk the future of infant nutrition? Share your thoughts online using hashtag Food for Thought Podcast.
Wow.
Catch your references at the end of this podcast too.
So thank you for joining us on this very weird but amusing food science. Stay tuned until next time. Stay curious and keep an open eye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.